a sin ag Parc Ainsley an na Ballad an Éitin son ar game vo Belco Premier League ban na Halapa a dú. Spartans a cluiche Hibernian agus isiú a game Salán bia a seo. Hello, agus fáilteoibh gur ar game pá cos bia a seo iad BBC Halapa a deaching sa fo Premier League ban na Halapa. Spartans a cluiche Hibernian agus seol Jeola go dead a hawn son game ball cosha a gdíon a tearstach. We told you fáilte inise a chudéad ar neolaithe a bhí as collading i the níoscar seo Emma Black. Emma, many thanks for joining us here on BBC Halapa. Mid-table clash today, Hibernian against Spartans. What are your thoughts ahead of this one?
I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be fiercely contested. You know, it's very, very competitive when these both teams come head to head, and it's also a local derby, isn't it? And it's not just 3 points that's at stake, it's also pride.
The big news today here is maybe not the players on the pitch. Debbie McCulloch, the head coach of Spartans, won't be in the dugout today. Scott Noble is in her place. How do you think that affected the Spartans' preparation today mentally?
Yeah, of course it's going to have an impact, isn't it? You know, I'm sure Debbie had done her work on the training field through the week, you know, in preparation for today's game, and you know they'll have a game plan in place, you know, and I'm sure Scott has obviously prepared the girls over the weekend, and yeah, it's going to affect him in terms of not having her voice from the sideline. However, having said that, you know, there's very, very experienced players in that changing room, and obviously Alana Marshall, she's been there a long, long time, you know, and she's a captain, and she'll be leading by example.
Well, there was earlier fixtures in the SWPL 1 today. There was a full card today. Glasgow City, a resounding win for them against Motherwell. And a couple of those games have just kicked off. But looking at the table, Emma, I mean, only a fortnight ago we were at Petershill Park watching Spartans against Partick Thistle. If results didn't go for them that day, they could have dropped down to 9th in the table. Today they're 6th. And they have a chance to go into 5th place. It just shows a lot can change in 2 weeks in football, but also it is very congested in that middle part of the league. Yeah,
I think the middle part and also the bottom, you know, the teams are very, very tight, and it just shows you then how competitive all teams are now in the SWPL 1. You know, there's no easy fixtures anymore, and for me, you know, Spartans, as we've mentioned, they've had a lot of draws and they've not picked up as many points as what they've liked.
Spartans, of course, another thing with that league table graphic, 8 draws this season. I mean, it's good they're not losing those games, but they'd really be wanting to. That must be frustrating for the players. Yeah,
of course it is. Yeah, you know, each team they come up against, as I said, it's very competitive, it's very challenging for them, and they'll obviously be looking to get as many points as possible, Spartans, and they don't want to be in a relegation battle, you know, and they've obviously been in this league for a number of years, and they've always been competing at the top end of the table, and obviously this season would be no different for them, but they're finding it challenging.
Looking then at Hibernian, I mean, they have, you know, they've struggled this season at times, but they've also put in some impressive results. Their next upcoming fixtures, 3 home games: Motherwell, Partick Thistle and Hearts. I mean, they are winnable games. That it could be a month that defines their season.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously today's game, they'll be looking at it. I'm sure Dean and his coaching staff and the players will be looking, saying, can we take the 12 points that's up for grabs? You know, if you're looking obviously at the teams that they are below them in the league. And, you know, Hibs, as we've mentioned, they've been very competitive also at the top end of the table, and some had good performances against the top 3. However, it's the teams below them that tend to drop points against, and obviously knowing Dean and the players there, they want to be competing at the top end of the table.
Well, thank you just now, Emma. We'll hear more from you, of course, in commentary with Alec. Agus well, and the Skipian, we had the Ginamach, Gidach Gerstars, Marshin, Hashing a talk on Yach, others are sonar game at you, Alec O'Henley.
Morning, thank you, Vinchel. Agus Marokra Hagadi and a jersey show like Parc Ainsley and a donation. Agus toch village charach noch geweest. Céimhúir gomatarach a tú agus na réite den hoffaigh Jordan Curran na réite a cin dú a teach dá skippe ag ceann hail na pátce Hibs na dáin uaine scal ábhairteach agus in Lee Eddy ceann stré sin agus teann luchtaich de bhall cúteach ag dí na jersey dúsin mar sin si amas a bheits an gaib a caint game fer bhfuil ag dí na jersey go beat a dóchas nach bí dul na súil an cúscatá maar eentje chiad le eruit. Meach gehuv na Skipian mahis ac in nach bi Derek O'Breath de Vengi is on Spartans da aardig is de skipach is in Tegan Reynolds Rosa McQuillan toestemach is de skipper Kitty Fru agus Rona Douglas a chinnestay van de skipper in de graag Tuil Kinyani at Hamilton a Jachin Sakai. Tudach yn nhw'n arach ys on y skipper Kibbs yn, wel, chai las yn tudach gael cahwn, diw iemach yn nhw Glasgow City the Jack yn Sachai. Alexa Coyle, stoch yn y bwysau fi ddechoryn efo Jack yn Sachai cybwysyn y Jeffrey enw eisiau chiliwch agos Jenna Penman y tŵchtiwm ymach as y skipper a tosach yw gaisan. Agos the Vengi, Reynolds tŵchtiwm Shears chan y Bengi. Coddi McQuillan agos Penman cwtiwch ydol chan y Bengi. Is on a skipper Dean Gibson. As yn pick and gown the Vengi ach cyn I had has da sy'n y Jeli Adams, Amy Muir, Rachel Boyle had y gorstachig. Rachel ddach yn diwmar y Micra, Jordan Curran, fain taich yn y cleich fo John Stewart agos Andrew Simmons. Agos bys yn y doch ys gybi game gymath osgol Jack yn y sio. Spartans y giaf Jack gyfaatje tosach la leis na gemi chinile agos hybs y cher yfaatje agos da iem y ddefichter at y ddesan hybs y pynnig 3 gynioni strai y ddesan ach sydd hafing se nioni y fawn mar sy'n stoch y cor yn y sy'n gynnwring dy Spartans game nas crwy hort gan y high beast y diw agos bi at y coint the Rebecca Galbraith gysori chwnnw sy'n I fain da hwyl yn ei Partick Thistle sy'n gem a gydig efo yn y sio ys BBC Alapa Cat Smart cwtioch cwnnwtach agos Jack yn Sachai Alana Marshall hwyd y dyl gaisen mae sy'n ha clicit a nach sŵrin hybs y gorstach hybs a tein y dol gan y chergol Amy Gallagher iddo fi lyb na dyl nwy tyl eichgysio iddo desan symud ha agos Clyde Kavanagh hwyd y dyl na Glasgow City iddo Jack yn Sachai a dda fy hwn giag iddo dream eisiau le jeich tyl agos tyl gilior y lyb y skipper a Kibbs cwtioch ma ha a sy'n y nid y fan jesel son y game sy'n chwyd gydol, has da Jack gyda'r gydol ymach. Mae'n y skipper ac Spartans, a Louise Mason y station, agos eisiau gen o tori yn y frinket na chi y skipper dy hachga y diw. Lana Marshall skipper ddachga, asyn yn ysgesel, ys o'n tosach yw. Agos adaf y hochgi ag Becky Galbraith, dylwch ydy game gydol ys o'n Spartans. Chan i gydag di yn y jars a chanel laf ar y fel y giri fyna teisam yn gwrs a I byrach ffwr mar sy'n mae'r slwy ysyn yn game gydol sawn y siar gwych yda yn y siesw mae'r ffars sy'n ni mae'r lentaniach yn o'i gran cini Becky Galbraith byrach ciniach ar o'i ni dar y ffyd ac yda si Kate y game chwyd gydol a cha Katie Frew wrth sy'n sŵr fy'n chwych yda Kibbs ach a hybs y dysatag ysdiach y gael. Nilas yn mynd i sy'n y gogan I carstach. As yn y cwmalora. Ys coel y sŵag cwtrmach. Trawn diach gyda'r jamach y ffalch. A Van American ach ydd Jeffrey yn y fan y gysio stwy gan y skipper. Grwn y meddyg yn eich. Gafi English cwtioch hyd yn y push gaib. Spartans diach yn ysio chwychio hwgal. Sŵs y lain ffli achgysyn. Cleland. Joel Murray, ti'n fwyd ymach fan y chwl dy hybs ach sŵrach y bawl a sy'n tarsyn, caint y son Ellis Notley. Al fod y chwl cwtramach dy hybs ym i'n ylun Gian hyn y Siobhan Hunter I Joel ys achgysyn Fi'r chwtramach mae'r eich games y ddwr daw falachgyn Neu Leich Galbraith Coyle, y ddasio cwtioch yw ylun y Gian eich Notley tarsyn Joel Murray, skipper Zelia Eddie Gwych eich cool gish, stri fys y squad ac skipper na halopus on cwch by Pinatar. Tor ga sioca i'n y running game, lein y giantiach gwych y fwyl tarsyn cacach y cheil y fiach yn di gwsyd fan y chwl sy'n mach tryn y fiach. Sianata Geno Drast, Shannon McGregor. Iddo faw, baw gyma crw i sy'n coel a chwyd I. Os mach go I da, smart yn mwrs yn y tŵn da i'r ffola fwy byt ach Ik heb de 50 mil loyal. Zien de 3 meisjes. Zien het zuurvleep de Spartans. Naar de Jeshen bal de dash. McMahon. Took al show. Art. Stay. Fijn naar Jeshen gaan alleen het Gian. En het gaat voor naar de hoogtje. En ik vast de goal, Lisa Ryan, weer de Galsuas van de goal. Morrison the T-Villig in a Fadk. To the Kibs again out. Morrison live yes, Coyle van de Veen en Zeeman Gallagher. Live Glee. Gedraast uit de dash ze ook zag heen. Spartans vegen de route in een gruwige. Mason. Ook al een Karen toch gezegd Tarsingen ook zich gaat tunje schön. Hier is Coyle aan de dash. Kutje gewoon in het gien. Je gaat de eind zo Scott Macaroni. Sean Flicket uit Spartans. Je gaat al van een kassa naar Kavanagh. We zien de Wientje nog. En dan rij je de gloos te maken. Morrison en die willen. Wie is daar skippen? Via gaan die ook al van de Wien. Douglas. We gaan de live Glee Achtersen. Cleland. Mason McCunyev. Yes, Purintig al breed dat. Eine de schön. Yes, Cleland. Dol Idash go Rachel Harrison. Emma Black was one of them. Emma, as expected, quite an open game and both sides having a go in the early stages.
Yeah, they have, and I think Sarah Cleland's seen a lot of the ball in opening minutes. You know, she's had 2 driving runs down the side here, and you know, I think she'll be influential for them today. You know, she'll be obviously looking to use her pace to get down the side and support her attacking players.
Interesting also the way Spartans have deployed Louise Mason, ostensibly a defender, but she's been put into sort of a midfield role today.
Yeah, you know, Louise Mason's vastly experienced. You know, she's very technical also, so she'll be comfortable in taking the ball to feet in and around that crowded midfield area.
Je kunt niet goed bal try. Ach, wat prachtig. De goal Suez. Simone McMahon van vijgen de goal try. Ach, wat je gaat vallen over daar. Hunter. Kan Jimmy Geltje in de roon en haasje. Klietje Kudic. Toch wel, als je een wel is not like like McMahon. Agus taich je de moeite bring je pas aan. Dus de hele edasje stelle Katie Fru. Klietje cool jeesje jut de Spartans. De eerste chinestegen is keer te kan die gaan reageren. Macaroni. Gavinnik de Hibs en mijn paadjes vegen die ene dash. And given her connection with Spartans, Emma, she's got something to prove probably today as well.
Yeah, do you know, I was actually thinking it, and I was actually looking for her name on the team sheet in the starting 11. You know, she's not played a lot of minutes for Hibs. You know, she's been in and out the team, but obviously she'll be looking to make an impact today, especially against her former side.
Och, let je het daar. Ik heb nog geleden wie je kunnen willen gaan skippen. 3 playing a show must the gloosje Hibs. Nou, dus ga ik. Als je niet eerst je zo karantrouw moet je mag in de duel. Cleland. Zoals alleen bekend de hoe van Mason. En is Marshall. Dat goed je gebeurd. Go beetje geld breed. Kunnars toch een shot de Hibs. En is gepoerin je een dash. Go Marshall. Smart. Doen ik zie als Kavanagh komen zich geleerd en dan zie je geen Chalmersen. Een follow-up en je pass zijn through McCunyev. Dus Marshall Dodash, go Harrison. Cleland die eerste pick and room. Live Glee Achtersen, koper gekallen Mason. I guess je gaat niet heen go breed dat kan uit. Room shot Kibs getaat. Maar je het plisje Gallagher de gelost tegen een vier. En dan ging je eerst gelijk getaat. Eerst Clement, Sheena, mij gaan de voet. Macaroni in de guts voet. Maar kon aan de shot de Spartans zet je goed. Morrison de vier define Suez. Gediest Robin McCafferty, Junema, Dal Tarsing, zit Jelike de Shakunatchen. Eddie, Gale Sochket, Dal Suez, mijn Vieshachke. Kijk, zijn close, Macaroni in Fashkara. Spartans gaan Suez, Galbraith nu, Jack nu, Hunter, John Grant, Jarrison, ergens Noorsen, pikken te vochtig. Coole cat smart, ze zijn het zuur voor de Spartans, waar ik leeg slee. Je shot je toch erop, pikken te vochtig voor Kavanagh, stel je de dreamiglijke de Spartans. Harrison, Camas, Dawn, en de Voxe van die is wat puchtige sin. Op breed, Kinta gedrappat, puchtige stij, het dream, Jackley. Sequence of pushes in the back there, Emma.
Yeah, that's a silly foul.
Yeah.
Galbraith's given away. You know, it's an opportunity to get the ball into the box, you know, pick up second balls. But yeah, for me, I think Spartans have started the game brighter than Hibs.
Hibs via de positie waar we in een paard keer. McGregor, koper gemaakt met de Kavanagh. Kain Tarsen go Ellis Notley. Als je een keer je doen af het coil kata. Nurinji en Suasalena. Through. Breithe die is fijn voor Ada Vakulu voor Hunter. Zo me jeder get unieke ta. Agus staat gezegd de Hibs of zo. Coil kan tang zo is alleen kata sa bal de galmach die is. Breith. Agus sinne de SWPL Notley tuchen naar de wij berg gelijkse Noorsen kema aanmaak uit speeg tripletje shot de Galbraith gaan. I think she was annoyed with herself initially, Emma, that the ball was just nicked off her as she was about to play it and then went in for a bit of afters.
Yeah, I think that's just frustration from Galbraith here. You know, she was dwelling on the ball. You know, she should have played it a little bit quicker, and then obviously Notley came in and taken it off her. But yeah, that's a silly challenge. You know, the referees obviously had a word with her, but that's two challenges, 2 free kicks that she's gave away in a short period of time.
Didn't think there was a booking there either, which should have been a booking.
Yeah, for me that is a booking. You know, it's dangerous the way she slid in there, and it's just all down to her frustration, you know, her losing possession of the ball.
Well, maybe shouldn't. Vangelukkig met jou en route we kal smach er steen goed trase game. Dus was een graaf forster nog nach de gosje karswoeje. Man, hier is je nog noorsen de schisse with the vowel ska kal Hibs gegut gemaslutig. Again, Hibs so disappointed with that. There was a mistake there. They had a chance to break quickly, but they just couldn't get their passes together.
And no, you know, when they had free round the ball there,
yeah.
You know, sometimes they seem to be rushing that next pass, and you know, maybe it's at times, you know, just get your foot on the ball, keep possession of the ball. There's no need to try and pass it as quick as what they're trying to do.
Breith ga granke shias me aan de paard keer. Is Marshall ka scoop op die willen. Mason via die gomal stede de vouwer te Haitiano. Tachje van Marshall, dat is haar plisje, wel, geen hele plisje smart, or a Kavanagh could cast us around Dorische. Ja, Eddie, ja, die Louise Mason nog maar voetbal. I guess dat je gaat ik naar bouwen, plisje de Spartans. Yes, klik het aan, via de kussie en we de wou. Is het erop at McCafferty wou. Gere Kusunia, de Vowels and Spartans. Shinny Kielkel Cormac, Notley Plisje. McMahon, George McKean, Nachayek. Bowel Stig and a Voxe, but they Pamacha Vason. Certainly Spartans have been very competitive first 10 minutes or so, Emma. They're making sure that they don't concede anything, and Scott Noble in charge of the team today will be fairly happy with the way they've started so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as I mentioned, I think Spartans for me have started the game the brighter of the two sides, and you know, I knew it was going to be a competitive game like this. You know, there's challenges flying in. You know, there's a little bit of afters when a challenge goes in from both sets of players, and you know, you like to see that. You want the game to be competitive, obviously, however, in the right manner.
I have this image of Dev McCullough watching the game at home and furiously texting to the bench with instructions throughout the game.
Yes, you will, and yeah, we mentioned at the top of the show that, you know, the Spartans players will miss her from the sideline today, you know, giving her instruction, giving her voice, and obviously our team talk at half time, but you know, I'm sure she's been in direct dialogue and many of the players.
And also putting Douglas Samuel on there, the men's coach from the Lowland League, so that's obviously a bit of experience to help Scott Noble as well on the bench.
Yeah, that's huge, you know, having that experience from the sideline, you know, he'll be looking to help them greatly. As we've mentioned, you know, it's a local derby, you know, it's not just 3 points, it's pride at stake also.
Man, je kunt er gemacht fapesig, zich hier het gasten horen, ik geschoten naar Marcin. Ze vegen die het gaat vastgelte groeg is dat de bouw, zeg dat de eerste terugbouw, voor iemand Gallagher het al tjiedig kopekje galbreed. Gewoon hier ruin je heel aan nog hier met God Ashko Harrison. Cafferty, de bouw. Ze die eerst, dat je voelt zeg dat daar skip een kintig hoofdshot, Macaroni. Dus hij bouw lijkt je kollig, je kan een coole koilig. Hoe de kruimen, Macaroni lijkt koud. Dus dat is moeilijk hier in de plekje van van Oorsen. Nu zie ik Karen Kroe, je die goed die bal maken het fellowship. Ju foul was in stay. That was a good ball in Emma, and you'd expect, well, maybe Alexa Coyle would be disappointed with herself she didn't get in the end of this.
No, you know, it's a great ball by Eddie, you know, she's just put it into that area behind the Spartans' defence, and yeah, Coyle's just come off the sideline there, isn't she, looking to get in on the end of it, and you know, she's playing a slightly different role, you know, she's out on the left-hand side, we're used to seeing Coyle through the middle.
The other thing about that ball in, Emma, is that there's enough curl in it that it's coming back, so it's giving the forward a chance to get on it.
Yeah, I think she's obviously just mistimed her run, especially coming in at the back post, but it's a fantastic ball from Eddie.
Val, I guess tegen wat Praed. Gallagher. Zo pikken een sjaar voor Hubs. Joel Murray in de macht van de goals. De vermoeie Eddie, een goede bal maar was in de steek, pikken Jik in een Ash. Morrison. Cleland kunt kutje Morrison kunt aasje een man naar huis. En Morrison huisje dat leek al wel cool. Yes. Ja, Eddie Chile gedacht in de knie nog groot. Look at the next Spartans still again. Nasacha Le Cheval. Harrison, Le Cheval Ward. Jacob Galbraith, they know. Mason de vermoeie, ach Gaia de statige ster, hou de shin. Breath Gaia, so motion in with the Voxa. Cleland, the Nasulan. Agent Gallop, Gilliard as a Voxa, Nemisk, Smart. John Loss, I guess a fine in there, but that I catch. The shinny, you open the hack, Gabby English, with the Giano. The East Chada, you open the cat smart, tuned like Savoxa, I guess a fine in there, but follow. More encouragement from Spartans. It just didn't really get hold of this the way she wanted, but it did test Gabby English.
No, I think Cat Smart did fantastic there, especially getting the ball from a throw-in with her back towards goal, and having her getting a good turn and getting a shot off, but it's poor defending from Hibs. You know, you can't allow someone to turn like that inside your own box from a throw-in.
Douglas vegen de Shinimpi Spartans from the top. Man, Sue, do some. Cafferty Jichakal, Stoch a Kusunya. Smart to Nish to Fiach in the Shabal line. Me Arstenach. Bal Nastraje, the Galtraje Vixin of the Vina Pefachit. It's Dean Gibson. Toch een beetje aan het struggelen met de Wengia Kibbs, maar hij skip pakjes in de tansje goed. Motley, gaat het Coyle, hij is vroeg. Moesten ik goed de steg en de Viense gewoon nog toe. Mason, Connershin, ja Eddie, Chinne Machlish, Christian Morrison, Eli Vieshachkesen, Macaroni, vegen die fijn vastgeren. Hier is Femi Tune dat gedasgetako, Eddie. Hunter. Die is goed shot, dus je got Morrison, McGregor. Die is hier toe, door ruim. Glorie, ik kom al het al, ik heb 4 uur garm, was je. Val uit de vaak. that was a really good opportunity for Hibs. Just a poor first touch from Kirsty Morrison.
Yeah, it was, and it was a great diagonal ball from Hunter. I think initially it was actually for McGregor, but you know, the way it's just bounced through, and it's a great run by Morrison. But however, her first touch, she's just let herself down there, and you know, Harrison's come off her line and closed down the space. But better first touch than get her shot off, because she did have time and space.
Fantastic, det var je kuutje van McGregor, Edlent eller stig aan de boksen. Shaw Plistico, Smart, Duval, Gawosat Lua, Katie Fru, Galbraith, McKeown, yes, Shachat de Gulletinje. Fru ook weer naar Svachtje, Le Cheval Magidek. Havana, Drachwau, door die Soer geweest, Kiri, wij vegen, goed je mag ook allega, Gilior, in de vastje gedaan. Ryan. Cassin Smart, laatst het Gilior is on Kavanagh, maar woord, but. Cafferty. Duval, is Jif Clelandike. No Yedi. Chinnestig aan de box. Oh, is part of het tarsing. Shin gefasht is in de goddelijke shot. Hij is 4 uur klukje van. We Sarah Cleland Duval. She's so unlucky there, Emma. Really good work from her initially, just making the space for herself and getting that shot away.
Yeah, tremendous run again from Cleland down the left-hand side, and she's managed to cut in on her stronger foot, and she's got her shot off. It just opens up the goal, doesn't it? But you know, a fantastic effort from her, just narrowly missing out.
Chiclea Kibbs dog ein Fashke de shin. It's has she Spartans ha. She fruchtig is on a hier to la show ein. And the eerste saas de mission gele shit no op Magede gashin. Is meesten de goal mag for rooi klutje. Doe gaat de connection in de dash voor klutje dat Hibs. Langs de passig je dash met de Kiri. Marshall kan ook aan de dash is. Prachtig zo is. The flag was up, Emma, but it wasn't the worst idea, and Galbraith wasn't to know the flag was up. I was half expecting the net to burst there.
Yeah, so was I. You know, it's a great cross from Alana Marshall, you know, getting it onto her left foot, and you know, Galbraith has just drifted off the back of Siobhan Hunter there, and that's a huge effort, isn't it? I think obviously she's just maybe expecting Hunter to go and win it, but she's just obviously caught offside there. But as I've mentioned, yeah, I've been really impressed with Spartans the opening 20 minutes or so.
De skipper Sjarik shot. De collas de Hibs nach el de tikje vergat zulige achke. Die is van de Kavanagh nog de stel Lisa Ryan. Laatjes Gilior son. Al de voorgeleg gemaakt. You'll be a bit worried, I would imagine, Emma, given the way they played last week against Glasgow City. He'd been looking for them to kick on and maybe take control of this game early on.
Yeah, you know, I thought Hibs were fantastic against Glasgow City last week, you know, just narrowly missing out on taking a point back home. But yeah, you'd expect their performance levels to be high and carry into obviously this game. But you know, I think obviously we've got to remember it's a local derby, this game, isn't it? So it's going to be fiercely contested.
Tudach maar gewoon schön, MC groeien jelle in de stad. I guess Karsvuye, the Spartans, Becky Galbraith. I guess it was only a matter of time, because there was a lot of these kind of challenges going in, and the referee has been lenient so far, but deciding to brandish a card.
Absolutely, you know, I think that's silly from Galbraith, you know, and
she got away with one earlier as well.
Yeah, she did, especially being so early on in the game, and she has had 3 challenges already, and you mentioned the previous one to that. I think that was actually a booking as well, so I think she's obviously treading on water now. She's got to be careful.
Maybe het leefachtig is. Duval is there, Harrison in the marks, I do the grey mid, Coyle around the chain of state. I was never too sure about those, Emma. The goalkeeper comes and it looks like a 50-50 and she drops it, but invariably the decision goes with the keeper. Right call?
Yeah, I think it's just 2 players come together, but as you said, the goalkeeper always comes out on top, doesn't it? You know, she's obviously got her eye on the ball, Coyle's got her eye on the ball, and I think it's obviously just coming together, a 50-50, and she drops it. But yeah, I think for that free kick as well, and it was a big opportunity for Hibs obviously as well. I just feel that they're lacking the first 20 minutes or so, aren't they? They're just obviously not performing well.
Just a pick and a varach in the game. Doonanly smart to took all the guard and me in the path. Spartans are kind of kunatach Mason. She's a bowl of share Reichkische. I got Torek al breath the not like a heilige Ashko Hunters. Gastlige machen and do well for the Barak room and clear Eddie. Kavanagh. Get it closest to us line at Feinshin van Morrison. Nuringi Baltra, Hokalastay. I guess Cafferty, Jenama, Uthal Tarsing, Jenakina Nahangi Bowlastay. There's Morrison, Fakal Chinek, Eddie. Cal Jenna Barry and Akidosh, Akidosh, Akata. Some Macaroni. Smart to give the Askewn Kata. Yes. Hebsuke de Vui de Mache, they help. Sabrina Kastivoristan, Bishna Quinjan Barach, Vuipisha, Leune. Chegan a click it down a hat chin trona system all Kriachke. Yes. Mr. Clicky Kunavalach has a here skipper. Hunter. Let's go Coil. Through Kumalsul here at the shin. Ashko Kavanagh. Nice Morrison. Yes, Joel Murray skip at the Shachat and me in a pathket. Cafferty is the kill. Macaroni, Gina the cool, she the Bosch and Vasan get that big and the fruit to get involved Macaroni. McCafferty and do the Goganik, she the Bosch and the Vizam. When you shot Coram, the Hunter, Murray, you go Suez van a cool, Fiach the Keen, Yanjana, Bowlish, Tarstings, Maris, and I can have a Lee Eddie, I can make come as I could do really at the state. Hunter is Coil, Lishan Archer, Gallagher, Kutcher, Cafe on the street. Eddie. Lishaval Maha, Sadish Galbraith, Kutrumach at Yahoo, Charskamarak and Nui. Tajun is Amashad, Nakogani, and Yanava, Sinkaro, not Leak Yirish in the Galakaki, Amelia Kavanagh. Tajun at the Spartans, Chich, Athena, the toy at Yahoo. That's going to skip on Murray. Mr. Knotley. The dual Kutzmach vision in the Celtic. Game of the cool in it. Like Foster Cool, the Morrison at State. Wasn't the worst idea in the world, and she could have got on the end of that with a bit more determination.
Yeah, it was, and it was good play by Kavanagh at the left-hand side. You know, she's put in a fantastic ball, just waiting for someone to go and attack it. Be brave, you know, for Morrison to be brave, to try and get on the end of it.
Croated Hashachara. Yes, Paul Bristug go Hibbs and me in the path get Coil. Murray. So it's got Kavanagh picking room. I can show you the pass. Makalor give it Caramel. Kavanagh to the Vox the Fichi and Burgess Harrison. Long Savage, Jenna Gray. In the vow. Actually, she maybe should have got the first pass away, Emma, but then it broke to her the second time, and she always fancies the chances from that kind of range. Yeah, she does. You know, I've been very impressed with Kavanagh this season. You know, she seems to set the tone for Hibs. You know, whether it be her first shot at goal or setting the tone in terms of her first challenge. But you know, I think she's developing extremely well into a very, very good player. Look at that, Colette Kavanagh. Give me more at doing than how. There's poor Europe, as we used to show Jew Hibs a coin the here tower line. And the channel get a layered can you kusa up in the via Kib say Darakach, Lechorm and Kiliorach. Look at the Lord Duval, I guess McCafferty, I guess Cleland Devon, Chinstay the Coolich. Michael Kavanagh a lot. Smá bas aan, nach geleor, doe die brakke, Barakeen, die is het al gaan een Caramella, bouwlige de stee, moen, lene tien. Eddie, het zoele street, de leentje, oanje, tarstinge wokse, bouwke maar hier al van kata. Nee, bouwle per. Geloni, vier die gommele stee. Nee, dat is geleor, like helemaal, ze staat er gesteer gegaan. Kavanagh. Ashkanotli. Can hoor the source of line shin ma boy pese. Uri yanka Gallagher kata. Santa Dadash go English. An American achille. Krishak Boa Vista mas dan ik hier go Hibs. McGregor, die verroet ik in zaag te hebben, speelt natuurlijk een paar voetjes. Meer een paardje. Hier staat de bouw gauw, ideaal, Louise Mason. Smart, trying to go breed, ga je klachten, pick en een schindle. Joel Maria, ga je haasten komen aan het top, maar je Eddie, fijne wielen vallen af. Douglas Kahili. Mason, een lentil substitution. Dus Eddie again, die vallen af. Doet de hub zachter weer de val. Cat Smart, Noorsen het al. Zeg het met Murray. En nu zie Karananamach. Sashin de zuur voel je horse. The Spartans. The decision here for just that late challenge, and Cat Smart did well to stay on her feet.
Yeah, she did, and you obviously have to give the referee of the credit there. You know, Gilbrave done something similar, didn't she? And she got booked for it, but didn't have contact with the player, and Joel's done it there as well. So, but I just back to that previous phase of play. I feel for me, Gilbrave had the running on Joel, didn't she, down the side? And it's always disappointing when you see a striker going towards goal and then having to check back. You just lose momentum.
Karamach go shock at that. Ishal, I guess, for this. That'll be English for this. The Shinna hook out. Yeah, no. Bear get the va. The Darakic, McMahon, Adish, Chacha, the Kustulan, and Jigli, a Kibs Shin. Hunter, le Coram, Key Magalamach, Coil, Geach at Honach, Fema two Baul Shinine for Smach. You know, I told the Golamach to Villa and Pathkit. Hier zijn een klikt en ha. We moeten de gorstige, maar we krijgen Dasha, Haley Adams, Kuchuk, Rachel Boyle. Those are three key players Hibs are missing, and maybe you're kind of seeing it on the pitch in this performance.
Yeah, they are. They're huge players for Hibs, especially obviously with the bench that they've got as well. If you're missing any players, any top players from your team, you know it's going to have obviously an impact on them, and so far it's telling in the performance.
Daar we hun Gia Kumalke, machine de gele, is Kavanagh aan het kunnen maken. En de val af zo Morrison. En staat je zo te lijnen kan je Shinemi Gallagher via en de fijne kach. Kaffertje de Kroaten het hasje gora. Is er Ryan. Sassenach uit de goede van Spartans. Zo is go. Simon McMahon gaat Brungi. Smach kan je zo te lijnen. McGregor, ga maar pijl, zit je in de maat, ga ik like Coil, Gedish, Balkaar, en het coole Gallagher, en dus goed die Ryan, skippel gaat goed. Cafferty, Rash, go Harrison. Spartans is via die ook al zo is van een goal. Through van een Kassen en Coil, ach Notley, Kahili. Cleland. Here a Coos, Shinkatar, Mason. Both sides pretty much cancelling each other out, man. From Hibs' point of view, the frustrating thing is they're getting the ball in decent areas, but they just can't seem to string any passes together.
No, they can, and I think the game's settled out now, isn't it? I think Spartans started it brighter of the both teams, but however, obviously Hibs have grown into the game, and I think it's just the decision making on the ball.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you make that final pass. You know, it's have you got awareness? Where's your next pass going to be?
Ring. Frühchen nog maar een steentje gewaard dat hasje gaat het eerst. Zijn skeel kan er wel gaan daar skippen koeide. En een passage in de wie kummersig geleerd de vaart met giddig in een vaatje. Hunter Downs de box zich heen. Ga ook allemaal go Morrison, Eddie de Vermoeie, de Verstuy, Coyle. Hier zij staat ze tune de galash. Als je het is pikken je niempje als een nieuw zie ik Hibs die Spartans fijne dash. Hier Coyle. Agus. Wij kan het aan zuur. We hebben zuur. Hikke te kersan. Het doet de ja game kom al het al. Via die is. Mason took on the goal on the me on the path get for the tie. Session the chin and ish for Cleland. That took the so dele. Colony Jenema. Mag Cleland. Ben je gevoel de gaat al try een tripletje be. Ish. Barakloom show at Gallagher. Eine falla voor Douglas Kuchuk. Genevieve James Voxa. Tie station voor Coyle. Haast de bouwlachje. Tie is het zien voor Notley in de koel. Ik heb met de bouwlach de stennis draaien. Had de Gianushin. Toekje gaan koel. Eddie. Dus je bouwlach de Coyle. Is Coyle. Verschillende de Gian. Lisa Ryan, really good defending from Lisa Ryan there. She had to make that really difficult for Coyle.
Yeah, she did, and you've seen obviously the phase of play started with Amy Gallagher, you know, dropping into her own half. You know, we've not seen her on the ball at all, and she's looking to get touches, and she did a fantastic drive and run forward, and she was composed on the ball. You know, she was obviously looking for her teammates, but you know that was good defending by Ryan. You know, she's just got enough into Coyle just to put her off.
Le Gunnat Bulle gevallen haast. Dat is Gallagher groeig gormsjen. Houwde zijn oschingen is. Vegen die bal tarren je gillen. Goed de stui. Coyle die eerste daar catch. Gal breed. Daar is de volk zich heen. Tune dat schijn. En vallen wij. Maar is het een paar roemen doen? Je kunt zeggen, Mihailetje le Harrison achter de eentje. Je Coyle. Line en Jackson een lijntje Hibs. Sekiri. The finish, and you lose the peak. You reach the shouts for a penalty there, Emma, but don't think she could do much to get out of the way of the ball there, young Katie Frew.
No, definitely not. I think you can go with the reaction, obviously. I think maybe her hand's out, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
I think that's for me. Spartans have got away with one there, but
hand was out.
The hand was out, yeah, it was. It's obviously changing the direction of the ball, isn't it? But no, for me, I think that's a penalty.
Yep. First dan nog fijn Aslische Spartans. Hoe ze beker weet je dan zwaar. Too hellig kid Harrison. Yes. Marshall Casco op gevallen weer die willen. Op shin na van Correct Leeunie. Maar goed ik second hul. Gleich Kavanagh was het jallig te willen vroeg. Alweer hier wil heen. God, dat kutje kunnen we nog zien. Mr. the Clee in me for shine. Shoei. Ball line of dash. Eddie. Here's McGregor. Howelson Oshang. Here's I had Santa Gestjechele. Nasashke de Vrachtigse Oshang for Cleland. Coyle, fine voeten in it. Yes, Marshall vragen gevallen af. Two skillischen voor Marshall, geef ik Caramelle. Murray, als we pikken dat Coyle. Juistje Michelora. Ze willen dat overwisselen te Kavanagh en heel. Tarsenko, Katie Frew. Spiesje. the door I could do the Ashlish, Takri Watch of the Vashinason. Bit finish, and Nuri show him at the Stena Smooth. So ik wil Gallagher, ik ga de mag, maar je gaat vroeg zoals de lijnen. Ik kan corner, kakker naar kloos, maar ze die bal de asje stijt. Man, dan is hij zat ik gestjach hele, na Sashke de noschen voor Notley. Fru, Fiachenli, bekend de gasten tegen deze shot. Breed, Favid, Murray, Ifala van Norinte, Gallagher, Smachkanje, Pistiako, Marshall. Coloni, Karen, Luchach, Karen mee in je paard gedraast. Marshall, Fiachenli, Paracolijn, gedeeld, Luchelevika. Skulige macher, Morsen, Huisig, McCaffertinho, Cleland, Kovat, Legale, Noelig. Ryan, Fiachen, Chieselena, zijn regulig. Going back to that penalty shout earlier, Emma, initially we thought just she couldn't get her hand out of the way, but the referee has a really good view of this as well. She definitely moves her arm towards the ball.
Yeah, she does, and you can see obviously the guilt in her face and her reaction that she immediately brings her hand towards her body once it's striked her hand. But yeah, it's a poor decision for the referee on that occasion. You know, Spartans have got lucky there.
But to be fair to him, maybe her body was in the way and it was the other side that maybe deceived him, but should have been a penalty. I guess Hibs and Ishtifiak and the foul line, Kuyu, Kichel Nela. Ja, shot of the Stu, Gallagher. I guess prachtig so is. It's a late flag there. I did think that Gallagher was coming back from an offside position, but it took a while to go up.
Yeah, my initial thought was she was definitely offside, but yeah, the linesman's obviously just taken a little bit longer to make that decision. And you see Amy Gallagher now, her and Coyle have switched positions now, haven't they? I think Amy Gallagher is best suited out in the wide area, being able to get on the ball and get driving at fullbacks, take them on 1v1.
Bara charm en groege behaniki machen het huis en checken met Joontje. Harrison, is je wel waard. Sean McGregor, Kavinik, daar with de Stewie Gele. Moesten de Pia Gallagher. Wees van Coyle, de cool, de hint, de cheval. Yes, put into Notley fine. And that just kind of typifies where it's gone wrong for Hibs. Just players not. She wasn't sure who she was aiming at there, and the ball just ends up going out.
Yeah, I think she was asking a lot of Notley there, wasn't it? Coming up.
Or was she intending it for Coyle, who turned her back and ran away?
Ran away, yeah. For Coyle, you know, she's obviously playing as the main striker. You'd want her in the box. You'd want her to be in the centre of the pitch, to be that focal point. But yeah, it's just down to decision making.
Shot Coram, Galbraith, the Tultronius and Spartans. Coram's toch a share, Achkeson, smart to favour stay. I guess in your fame to be a Galbraith or a knee heen a groch. I guess I Spartans toch in the hoshach. To the Kane minute in a machine Kaleun. I guess Hanuru to that. Nachrota there, Nurin to Cabby English start again a mayo and shin. I guess a Vengi, ex-Spartans, Edadoi, I guess Galbraith, Uadela, Genoa Jeffer is some Spartans, and Emma, once again, she is the main striker for Spartans. She had an option, she had Kat Smart, but when she gets into this position, she's always confident enough she's going to finish it herself.
Yeah, and she's just delaying it, and you know, she's had a look up in the box, and I'm thinking to myself, don't score it, you've got to shoot there. But it's a fantastic weight of pass from Louise Mason into her stride, and you know, she's just striked it tremendously right across the goalkeeper, you know. And you know, it's nothing that Spartans absolutely deserve it. You know, they started the game the brighter of both teams, as we've already mentioned, but yeah, Galbraith's their go-to player, isn't she? She's the one that, you know, if she's playing well, the Spartans play well, and she's on the score sheet once again.
Dusan Tulichinish, Edesens, Becky Galbraith. He's had the Jeffrey in on the door, Yemichin, son Spartans. Yes, Hibs vegen de fijne dash, Kuhn en Savinic. Met de verrierichele, de Boshen, voor Sarah Cleland. Se vinna je gaid het hele was in ba Joel borig tar in kliket en Kibs kon like aan de kerkel. Je fiach in de daar in kon like is femiat freker China dash masuring avro le unie. So die shot tuchum Kavana is boeken kajilik elas raad gulet in dash Katie fru goed gevallen. Heilige dasjeste, ik Siobhan Hunter voor de goede aan de hin. I guess at the Rukisha the shin maar a series of half chances there Emma falls to Siobhan Hunter and she doesn't get the connection on this she wants.
No, I think she's actually not expecting to get it, but she maybe actually get time to put her body in front of it and actually control it to bring it down. But you know, Spartans that's when you're most vulnerable, when you've just scored a goal. You know, I was fearing for him there, but they've defended the set piece initially really well. You know, I think that's been 4 corners that Hibs have had, and Spartans have defended it extremely well. And given the threat that Hibs pose, and the likes of Siobhan Hunter and Joelle Murray.
Wel, ik pik open dat je die en we shot je goed door Leeuwen Hibs or had het Zuid-Vujelle or Chechat. Man, I guess Marshall, Shelton knew je shot. En Marshall een kastje gevallen van de Wildenish. Simone McMahon, tolke hoek alles tijd. Je zou de woord goed kunnen. Carwin Marshall gaal. Kun je al roei, je zie je veel English. Fine, route kan het gaan in de val af. Maloney, Dawn, Gain, Suis, Goida, Miss Notion is a Dara Hunsig. Hier gaan die een Satje val af. Haast kan je Hibs het jelijke dish. Dus me gedig je Kavana. En Gain Suis, als je de gevatte le Katie Fru. Die is gebouw Ravras, Hamurinte, McMahon, Smach Gain het. Stegen het, Vinach, me gedig. Into the final minute, Emma, and you can't really, you can't grumble too much about the scoreline. Spartans have deserved it.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, as I mentioned that, I think, you know, they've started the game better. You know, their decision making on the ball has been better. Their rate of pass has been better. So, yeah, I think Dean Gibson has got a big team talk to do at half time if he's looking obviously to get his team back into the game.
Interesting that when they did concede that goal, the captain Joelle Murray got the players in a huddle and got them, rallied them together. And they're going to need that spirit in the second half if they're going to turn this round.
Yeah, of course they are. And you know, you can see obviously the fighting spirit that Spartans are displaying here this evening. You know, they're playing extremely well, but obviously Joelle's obviously trying to lead by example.
Kavanagh, Nurin Yisha, the Alliance and Chicken Vigedig, Fave, because the Jiki Taich for Shannon McGregor, McMahon and Orson Anamach, Lishin Newsy, or I guess Survey with the shot. It's the East. Man, stoch a first and a Koshak Falavation. That was a bad challenge, Emma, and again I think McMahon is lucky the ball's played and she follows through.
Yeah, it's a silly challenge, especially coming so close towards half time. You know, you're leading 1-0. You know, you just have to stand up. You know, try and get your body in the way. You don't have to go to ground and give away the free kick.
And also the fact that it is Shannon McGregor who's been out for so long with a bad injury. I think it was in this pitch as well that she got it.
Yeah, it was. You know, hopefully Shannon can get back up. You know, and as you've already previously mentioned, you know, Hibs are obviously lost in big players, and they obviously want to keep Shannon on the pitch, but I think it's just a knock to her ankle. It's just to follow through from the challenge, but it's a silly challenge, isn't it, to give away, especially this time in the game, coming towards the half-time whistle.
First in the Chaidasha, the Casana, close at the nerve, and Shin Mangur, Shashinit, Mina Javarach, Hudi, Jedig, Hiet late. I guess Harishman Karo, Javarach Gavian, because of the Jach McGregor Shias as an Osha. Ach, be Charamilla, Kibs. Fiach in the fine estate Kuanan. Gallagher. Just for me, just show you can need Daraka Chech Pantinet. I guess just smart around the Kedi. It's fine Suag at the shin. Go to the Machas on the Posha and you be Union on the son Shinagal. Eddie no Gagal. I guess McGregor Kuchachi need one at the Villa. Hannah to Grisho, Lucia Magedig, Yanakiatle. Uncharamela, a Kibs, fine at Ash Kuanan. She get the stay, I guess, for Kodachka. Gilt-edged chance for Coyle right at the end.
Yeah, it was an excellent ball in by Eddie on that occasion there. And Again, as you know, credit to Spartans defending the set piece really well.
Agus sinna dé the Jeffrey an uad Ellis and Spartans Becky Galbraith leis an nú tuil dhéana game teanna go léúne agus mar sinna gra chan nuairgúta rá nach rá édi éadh coda ceb sa bhí be fena sein catá Katie Frú láinseach sa bhogsa chamach go réite de sin uad a tas lei sin agus tíoch an nú nerb é daracad bhó Colette Kavanagh agus sinna cíolach seo ag Pátka Ainsley go bhfuil Spartans sydd hóiseach Spartans a hún Hibs Nioni.
Well, a chartin a sin gynnes a dol a chleingin fo union a clichetar ag Hibernian hóisich ag múlach na parcia a dú Hanna cí tro Academy Hibs haid aingan hiad skippe agus haid cúteach at Eulasain sa Champions League mar sin haid hí cáit a dáis iad a dríacha go seo ach cúteach a gíise sé eile a haid gamasid. Seo gaíh maha Kirsty Vodistan. Y tîn fod trewlwch bal cosio, a clichet rei Hibernian Kirsty Vodistan iddi fi y clich yn spors fy siog. Mas dwi corym cliche, don skippe in y dalaichke.
I've got two older brothers who were both very sporty as well, so I was kind of born into a sporty family and it was always something that we enjoyed doing and I've enjoyed doing as I've grown up. Playing with them, I just loved doing that and having kickabouts in the garden, they always wanted me to join in and I always wanted to join in with them and it was just great fun at the start. They played just for the local team and I just really wanted to get involved. So I think when I was about 4 years old, I joined the local team and I've just progressed through there. I think from a young age, I always enjoyed playing football and I was playing it at school through break and lunch and when I got home in the back garden. So from a young age, it was just something I really enjoyed doing and I just kept continuing it. And as I got older, it got more serious and more professional and I've just not really stopped.
Heim ni Kirsty vo Academy Hibernian, agus hunnig I hein cho láchas han tistamai criachke. By an oor sin a gamas ad eingestay, hunnig hiet skippe.
I was 11 years old, so it's been almost 10 years now, so it's been a while, but yeah, it's been really good and just I've progressed up through the age groups and into first team football now. It's great, it's got a great setup here and I always felt I was progressing, I was being challenged and pushed up into older age groups. I was quite often a younger person in the age group, so it challenged me more, but I think it really helped my development and it's got me where I am today. There's quite a few of us come through the Hibs Academy as well, so to be able to progress and keep going, it's great and it says a lot for what the Hibs club have done. When I was coming up through the Hibs Academy, aspiring to be in the first team, that was always a goal of mine, so it's great to be here now and to be playing first team football. I worked hard to get to where I am now, but I've still got to keep working hard, to keep improving and keep further developing myself.
Mar ha ag go siog, han clichet rhaid Eulasain sa Champions League, a huliagad na ring sin a hufleisachach, who ge blasat de Kirsty, idan ide a hairs on a ring.
It was a great experience. I was brought in last minute, quite young. I think I was about 15 years old. So it was definitely an experience and one I'll never forget. It was great to be involved in and it's just something that you kind of dream of when you're a young girl. You just play in the Champions League. It's an amazing experience and one that I'm proud of. I think playing with older players, it's challenging because the strength and fitness and all these aspects, the speed of play, they develop and you've got to keep pushing yourself to further improve yourself and get better. Now that I was slightly more older and more in the first team, I would love to be back in the Champions League and play and get that experience again.
Ha Kirsty mochtal an bhí a ruchgacha club hula túras hai cosach amach I the farke, agus hai gamasid bara húchbanan, coalition skippe.
It's great, especially since I've come up through the academy. It's a great feeling and I'm just loving every minute of it. to have your name on the back of the strip and the fans there supporting you, it's a great experience and one that I treasure and keep striving to do more of. It really helps your confidence when you're scoring goals and playing well, and as the confidence goes, you're able to do more and more and contribute to the team more. I mean, there's no easy games, so it's playing these teams, it strives you to get better and better, and you can only get better by playing these top teams, so it's good experience for me as a player, and we as a club, we keep striving to do better and better and to finish further up in the table and get Champions League spots. I think Hibs have always been a very, very successful club in the women's game, and we strive to win trophies and we always want to do better and better, so I think it's really important that we keep going and we do get the performances in and the results in so that we can finish further up the table and get back to winning trophies.
A Kirsty Taingal go bhfuil go leor cluichetar an le eolas an cúteadíos an skippe. Ha cúte go bhas musnachal fustúr Dean Gibson, and fer bh gopad cáladí na the Vice an Academy.
It's great to ask them for advice and for them to help if you need it, and it's just great to have them in the team. I think we've got quite a good balance of the experienced players, but also the young players that can gain experience from the older ones. You can always ask them questions about football, not about football anything, and they're always willing to help, and I think that helps me as a player to develop further and keep getting better. When I first started training with the first team, there was definitely an intensity difference in the training. It's always high intense and the speed of play is fast, and as I've grown as a player I've gotten more used to it, but it's just great. He was my coach with the development squad as well, so I knew him before and he knows me as a player, so I think that always helps when you know the manager and you know they're a good manager, and it helps get results. Coming in, when he came into the squad, he knew who I was as a player and what I can give to the team, so I think that helps, and he's shown trust in me and played me in big games where it's been important we've got results. It's something that you really want to have, the manager to have trust in you, and it gives you further confidence to help you perform better and keep on improving.
Leis a fan de me cators clichtar an farna parke, a Kirsty tollite a bhí a dash leis a hadacus críochnach ag Arts League, agus ein dochas a bhí a sas an a cúrs jeden na chuadéile.
I mean, it was difficult because everything just stopped. It was the same for everyone, and it was difficult going from being so busy with training to having nothing, but we were sent sessions to do and we would complete them, and it was tough just having to motivate yourself to go out and do running, but it's what you've got to do to keep at this level. But when we were allowed to get back to training, everyone was just happy to be back, and now we're back playing, it's even better. Oh, it's just brilliant. I mean, I think we've all now experienced what it's like being stuck at home, and so to be back on the pitch, it's a great feeling, and it's even training, it's great to be back. It's just a really enjoyable experience. I think it's been a difficult season. Everyone keeps improving, so you've got to keep improving ourselves, and we keep wanting to achieve better and produce results that get us further up the table, and we've had some hard games. We've had games that we've not played so well, but that's just football, so we've just got to keep going and keep getting points and get further up the table. I think this season we've got to make sure we secure 4th place. We've had some results this season that haven't gone our way, so we know that it's going to be hard to finish further up the table than that, so we'll aim to secure 4th place and have a good cup run, and then we'll start again next season and finish further up the table. Hibs have always done really well in the cups. When I was growing up and in the academy, the first team were always winning the cups, so to be back and having a cup run, it's a great experience, and hopefully we can do the same in the Scottish Cup. It would be brilliant. I've had experience of one cup final so far that we've won, and it was an amazing feeling, so I would love to go out there and do it again.
A Kirsty Mahal it humors ha game na ban it China there to doich van a hashichi. As he initial gamas in a heatskip a gallopper. As she wiki clickgave, ike either oikri.
It's a great experience playing for Scotland. It's something I'll never forget, and we've been on some amazing trips and I've made some amazing memories, so it's an ambition of mine to make it into the A squad. Yeah, it would be brilliant. Just as the game's got more professional, I think it's become even more of an ambition, and I would love to be in the A squad. I think the game has massively improved just in the short time I've been in the first team, and it's going to keep improving, and that can only get better and better. When I was younger, I played in a boys team at first and then progressed into a girls team, but there's more and more girls teams are there now, so it's great, and I think it will only increase participation and further develop the game. To see that progression as I've grown up, it's been great, and there's so many more opportunities now to play football.
Leis a club cwmal áte plís as a crí. A Kirsty and Dachas gynau cwnad professionte. Agus ar your son gylenior a lesicach mar clwychatar.
I mean, I've been here for so long, it's just part of me. It's people that I know just associate me with Hibs because that's all I've been at, it's all I've known, so it does mean a lot to me. I think when I came through the academy, I always wanted to go down to England and play professionally, but as the opportunities in Scottish football have improved, you don't have to go down to England to play professionally, so I would love to sign a professional contract and just do what I love. It's something you just couldn't refuse. It would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I would take it without thinking about it. I think it's been a good journey so far, but it's not finished. There's still more to come, and I've had great experiences. I've been really lucky to be able to travel away with football and go to some amazing places, but it's not finished yet, and we've still got more to do.
Kirsty Forrest and a Cubs since we lichor na ga heen se hiet le burin gi braga all or sin story hiet le go either son Hibs Emma Black called them a tale of misplaced passes for Hibs in the first half, but they should, I think we agree on this, they should have had a penalty when Katie Frew handled the ball.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I think my initial reaction was that's a penalty. You know, her hands out by her side. It's almost she's moved her arm towards the ball, hasn't it, to stop it, and then her initial reaction is to bring her arm back in. But yeah, I think the referee is in a good position, but as obviously we spoke about, is it her body position, the way she's shaped? Is it then the referee can't quite get
can't see the other side of her.
He can't see it, he can't give it, obviously. But yeah, it was definitely a penalty for me.
But overall, though, there's no complaining that Spartans are ahead, and when Becky Galbraith gets these kind of chances, she invariably takes them. Although she seemed to take quite a while before she struck here. She looked across and she could see Kat Smart. She could have taken this earlier, but eventually she gets her over the line. Yeah,
no, it was a great play by Kat Smart initially, winning that second ball in the middle of the pitch and allowing Louise Mason to thread that ball through to Galbraith. And yeah, she was taking her first touch here. You know, she has a little look up. It looks like, is she going to square it? You know, she did think about it, but the closer she was getting to goal, I was actually thinking she's narrowing the goal down, you know, especially coming in from that angle. But, you know, it's a tremendous strike. You know, there is only one option, it's to go across the goalkeeper, and, you know, English is not saving that.
Joel Vorach, Dash. Call da skipper Hibs Machadosach, maar game is at the V. Agus McGregor who het pulle akjedig hier leven sin ma hurpren edasje de faat je kutig se tu neer ga sin giesje agus is on Hibs ach femiat kluche gemanasje as darle ma het lagain edasje in game. Agus Becky Galbraith het kars voeje kutig gutige wie da kars voeje ook al mas doe die het heul asin meisje smach gemal heen as darle. Hij goed mag zo'n Spartans, maar het al gelegen game. Fijn Melanie gezien van de skipper de Kelana Marshall, Team Gibson, dus een question die voorsklug het al een stuitje gaan naar daar lee. Hij is dan misschien wel goed in je de de vaat kunnen, dus dat is aan daar lee. Goed getal. Hij is gießen Jeff Records via zijn Hibs. Tasje daar lee. Max a coil as cún a bhuiil. Agus bheith cara má aici sé jidig hiad le na ruchadí. Bli bos ein sechat I the vant tarsing. Sin a shisach a bhór fáie. Réitid it. Súl. Ma giar I the nuada. Jordan Curran go dar leim go dar le go dal droch fast amach van a goal van hunter. Dat je bhuiile dash. The Spartans and luring the Galbraith. Fine Ikishin. Cat smart to Val Lish Val try. Eddie. So it's got Coyle going for smach le brodig. Nisje vele taich. Se vinach Crelland. The doen is shears. I guess Coyle the motion of tarring of dash the lane like McCafferty. She's kidder gevil gogan the gun howie. You were short, you've got a grey Mickey the lane, Robin McCafferty. Harrison, nice Vlepemach. Gamas is on Galbraith. Murray, fine as a cue. Smart. Connection Senior, that's the Galbraith tuned out, when kind the McMahon of Yergestay. Morrison, gee, like a Kelm, Sarah Cleland, like a Julie Suez Seduction. Hunter. She's got Gallagher. Skippy intel trying to vote, she's a good enough father. Skip a Spartans at Hoshach. Gallagher, that's a big and a spook of us again, but if I hear it, leave us in a dirt, I'll make a clear shach with alternative. Through kind of son, Galbraith, Harika, Ishikata, Tushim Kavana, Savina Chai, the tune, Shias, Le Smart. Motion, Roni, each and stay the cool shit. McGregor, Le Kirsty, Boris, and Divimuyi. You find Shechat at Cleland, and Luring, Shinur the game is at the end of Spartans of the week, watch it at your cool, Marshall, and Ishtiplish. Oh, with cool like Galbraith by 2 jaar in de lane G en Kutje gebracht of Suez naar Hui. Galbraith Kutje getrokken al, Karswoeien, maar we hebben elkaar. Nu Karswoeien, en again make a shot. Get the house in, come on, crew, get the vian. Through. Smart, ja, goed gegeven. En dan finish nog Siobhan Hunter. Morrison in the room he does is a putting of ein Parsenike. Kavanagh. Gallagher. Dat kan te vroeg in de koele gero en jullie toch gaan gaan uit. Ach. I guess I'm looking Yisha Crutch, and I think she was looking for a free kick for a bit of pushing in her back there, Emma.
Yeah, I think Cat Smart's just much stronger than her. You know, it's great defending from Cat. I think Cat Smart did raise her arms there, doesn't she? So you can see obviously why Colette Kavanagh's obviously looking for the foul there, but you can obviously just see the fight and the determination that the Spartans players are showing, and I think they look like they want it more.
The fight that is coming from Hibs appears to be coming from Kavanagh. If anyone's going to change it, it's going to be her.
It's going to be her, yeah. I just think Hibs have got to be better in possession of the ball. I think they're just giving the ball away too cheaply, and then they've been slack in possession. I just think they've got to get their foot on top of the ball and, you know, try and build up momentum going forward.
Reece Mason and know that they're speaking to Gould and to Leah Eddy. Yes, Bow, Cleland, Sheena the Cool, Sheena the Upper Kamasu as the live Glee, some Spartans. Cleland, and some Galbraith, this Kavu Yanikasua Megedig, Marshall, Kahumal Pell, Elaine. Tegen the jarige dash, Galbraith, the Isha Kavanagh, Hachano Dash, I guess the Savile Hibs at Yahu, Morrison and Clukia. Karamashin, the coil, bow line for Smash, and Yali, it's Giliori, and it's the game, so Jew. Mason, Vish Kavanagh. Dol Mark Dorteman and me on a basket. So you can really the road you saw us in this shape. I think in Nachel Corgan y sgwp ystwch ydyn nhw gilio'r. Sy'n dolyd yn y casan eich eich gyda fyny gyda Ash. Scheistau crwyr. Nis gair i Ash fo Morrison. Ska chwmol y dol Tarsin go McGregor. McAlooney. Gallagher. Siwch o crwyr at Spartans y gwbrach. Hibs dyn yma. Chwmalach Magiddig. Douglas as around at Gallagher. Morrison sy'n asiar fwy position ag y falaf y Cleland. Clysio bawl ystod colach a main ystod. Cleland dyn yma chili gyda Ash. And there's the difference, Emma. She was determined to get back, make sure that Kirsty Morrison didn't get that ball in.
Yeah, and I think obviously Cleland's defended Morrison extremely well, especially in the 1v1 situations. And on that occasion there, I thought, yep, Morrison's got the beating over there, but it's the determination, as you've mentioned, the fight shown by Cleland to get back, you know, get her body in the way and then put it out for a throw-in.
This turn from Alexa Coyle, not far off the target.
No, I think we've seen...
She needs to believe in herself a bit more there, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think we've seen something similar that Kat Smart had done for Spartans in the first half, you know, and I think if you're defending a throw-in in your box, you know, you're looking to get a player in front of them so the ball doesn't go to feet, so they don't get that opportunity.
Kavanagh, he is took on the Goran, me and the path goes on Hibbs, Morrison, Jinama, Kuchak, Gregor, behind Ashko, Eddie. Kavanagh, Dimana Gairi to Hibbs. Murray, Morrison go Hunter. If Hibbs na hurline is shom had the in a game yet. Should pick on a share of a coil. I guess I find the Hogan drops it. McCafferty is stage with the cool look. Lawn Chimicha Lariska. Got Haring Galar Kuchak. Kavanagh. Je gaat die oppergeurde de gasses launch dat ik het val van een goed. Die gaat toekst met Savine. De coil a goed Douglas a falla McGregor. Kahili. Cafferty falla. Agus gave Spartans a Cogan. Je gaat al de volkse. Kavanagh stud a groei with Kat Smart. Wat doen we samen? G's het alles van een wiel. Nog barach puch te gaan voor Kavanagh stochen. Hunter, Jyn Massinier en ik breed gaat tuchtjem go Smart. Zij komen het al. We zijn ik Engelse macher in je ma. Savele ma jema gevita en Jyn macher kassen Kat Smart. Machine, the Spartans daar at the line. I guess Coyle in the share shot. Morrison Sure Deuces and Norton at Trochim Station for McCafferty. It's Coyle Fakale a lot. I guess certainly a yellow. Emma, could it have been worse for McCafferty?
I think it could have been, yeah. I think that's a poor challenge. I think going back to the chance that Kat Smart had also, just prior to this, I thought, Kat wanted it more. She was stronger going through the challenge with Joelle Murray, and obviously English has done fantastically well, but this challenge here, I think that's nasty, isn't it? I think she's lucky to stay on the park.
It's two-footed as well, pretty much.
It is, and hopefully Coyle can get back on her feet and she's not too badly injured, but yeah, I think McCafferty, she's lucky to be on the pitch, isn't she?
Well, he has a lot in a suja, and you lead the Casson has, like the Coyle, I had drug my showing. Shall I get it? I guess when you might find a fellow of Marshall of a fellow can cry, Adi is served up, and Norton, you can't go large, have a bowl of fellow right to gain on the wheel, could you? Yes, quite Karen Kiltenach, get that Dean Gibson, Rutigan Trial Marika too. I had Suus. We should the you just in a shoe like Alexa Coyle. Amy Hannah line of Ash for the Gulish and Illa. The English van American Illa. Feinach Willie Karskadior, Scott Noble, The null shin kuchach base and Tolich nach Karsierak of shin. I'd imagine he'd be quite relieved that he's still got 11 players in the park.
Yeah, he will be, and I think it's shown it's being cautious as well. You know, there's having that fight, there's having that determination. You know, there's wanting to make challenges, but in the right manner. And yeah, I think obviously McCarthy, she is a young player, but you know, she's been playing in this league now since last season, so she's obviously well aware of all the challenges going in, especially obviously it's a local derby, as I've mentioned. There's a lot of tension at this moment in time during the game, and yeah, she's lucky to be on the pitch.
No, gevorstenach, like the coil, Idasha the Cassin, so close at the new the van Sushnell. Leonard, Gachliche Scholle, Spartans. Nuring, the Hibs find a coolish, Joel Murray, Le Cheval, Tarsing, the Shia Morrison at the cool. Oh, my God, I shouldn't have this day. That's got to be in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think she's got to strike the ball with more conviction, you know, believe in herself. Yep. I just maybe think it was a great ball in by Joel, poor defending from Spartans, but you know, I think maybe obviously the Spartans player just coming across the front of her puts her off, but I think if she's on the front foot, you know, she's just got to go and attack the ball with more conviction.
Louis Mason van de Fiach en de Krantje en de Mie Gort al te Gerste Vorstenach. God, ik give je het laie in de Wauwelschen kaarste de goed Ishal Shias. En de Lient, Jeravation of the Harshvuya on McCafferty. No, we shouldn't Jeffrey, you know, in a game. Naro shouldn't have been a Harsherax, and there's means the Kuchach get the finish nach two at Hibs, Pias and the Fallach and Kivil, Gronch in the Tolman. Joe Hibs, the Plishchuk Gallagher, so the Isha Morrison Sue, the Dusa, Nuringi Jen, the Shara Drupsa, the Isha Karamach in there, Pine Fallaway, Garagastay Drupsa, do the Grime of the Vow, Maravukiri. He was Eddie Tolich show the Kalamach. Again, that's another good opportunity, and she just doesn't catch this the way she wants, Emma.
No, I think if she's got a better first touch, to take her first touch actually towards the goal and in front of her, then she gets a shot off.
With the Galamach, he is fine. Ready for the Bow Lilla. So it's got Coyle. Was it Susan? The mission crash. We've racking over Session Woody, Gallagher, Kavanagh, in the cool look. Coloni, Ashko, Kavanagh, in the cool look at that. You get Chile get Ash at the hunt. Gallagher, get it close it for Coyle. I guess Ryan Lee Jeva Fenergi. The Macaroni again. Savage the Viechkische. Hier is Jim Nashar nu Jim Clubbetje. Brecht het ook al aardig. Toen Kiljoris aan de bal de Vinnik. Is Marshall wel. Die schiene gedacht naar de Glichisens. Toen die passen wij hier in. Is meestal nog het Sherry kata. Terug werk gillen van McCafferty tussen Morrison een stuk op Gallagher. Hoe wil ik het? Douglas dropt ze. Toen ik hier naar gaan Hibs te zien. Cleland with Ash. I guess Tarsing two the Viechkische cool fleet. Get through who had asked me if they finish of a since here Lake Koenig. They got Galbraith having Donach Kavanagh the ball gets the is terug in for Douglas. Just a danger now that this is starting to get out of control a bit, Emma. And again, there's referee has no option there but to yellow card, Rona Douglas.
Yeah, it's a correct decision. I think obviously Galbraith was initially looking for a foul, but yeah, I think we've mentioned it. As soon as a player goes to ground, you're having to give the referee a decision. It was a poor challenge. I mean, you've got to stand up on your feet.
Rona Douglas in a shuttle stig in Lior. Accurate that Jordan Curran. Had Lior like a last Jew. I guess Javi Hibbs, New Kavanagh, Tolich and Mayung Kuch in it Coganate. Magudik is a Marshoik Jiddig again. Notley, Vona Duval, Coyle, Gastats, Gahundach and Yaltinish and Cleland. After the Dashko, Notley for the horse she glosset. Morrison, it's through the Howley, Dusa, Nuringi, Reach, the Bowler, Shechat at Cleland. Hier farske sinne die aan, maar boos het massage vallen van het Harakach. Hunter een oorsen le brak voor, is een prachtig zoals en McGregor KU de coltraje. McGregor. Kus huil, als je de deze zich daar huil, dan ga je de wie goed van te maken de korstige. Vastgekomen is in waar Lisa Ryan gemaakt aan, ze woog zich heen kutcher. Hoe het nu het in de klok leert in de aankal. Skipper Bark in de game met de via Kibbs had het haast de kroeg gekomen en Silja. Nou, dat je stochen het vader de Hibs. En een Leishman just is aan hun head. Eddie, Jenna Massiniers, Norton Douglas, is Kavanagh, Boelig, Keen, Gele, mee aan de paardje. Dat is toch een aardig shot. Beetje even van de Hibs, de Wingy. Met Kavanagh terug, sklokkers in maar hoe het Douglas. Clyde Kavanagh, Suas. Accidental clash of heads, but sore one, Emma.
Yeah.
Kavanagh's back on her feet, and that's the good news for Hibs.
Absolutely, I think it's obviously just a coming together, isn't it? It's just both players committed to go and win the header, and it's just they've come off each other. But hopefully, I'm sure both players will be fine to carry on.
Jeez, look at that in God in the path, give us out that Chile gate. Ik heb het Karskiljaar gedaan, Eddie. En ze daar goed dat de China daar zit. Hunter, we keren kusuunje de Shinsa Kalbreed de bouwle gutch voor ik pak aankelijk McMahon. Ze nistje das Kalbreed. Alana Marshall, vier in de fijne steg en de vokse. Zie wat? Ik weet pas aan je duivel. En ze China staan dat je gezoek trouwen van Shinvo. Javon Hunter, dauwte leeuw. Breed de kant is aan het daar te leichtje. Marshall, dan ondergaan op de poschen. Marshall laat trainen, wie een ingenieur, hij is min min 3 jaar geschoeid Paul Kosje. Dan kant is aan Galbraith astij, daar het hul, de Spartans. Agus Coela, ach Becky Galbraith, agus Sint Gieder voor de paardje training. Agus naar Hanneke Eichkische, haar checkers te pien, dat toch een zin geliehen. Agus Gabby English, put in je fine basket. Emma, as soon as she saw that ball coming across from Alana Marshall, she pulls away, makes room for herself here, gets away from Coyle, and there's only one place that's going to end up, and that's in the back of the net.
Yeah, it was a tremendous delivery from Marshall. You know, she's just drifted off to the back post, Galbraith, and you know, there's power, there's pace in the delivery, and she just has to guide it towards the goal, you know. But for me, for Hibs, if you've got someone on the back post picking up that area, you know, is it a possibility they could have cleared it? But you know, we've obviously been speaking about it throughout the game, and I think for me, Spartans have been the better of the both sides, haven't they? They're the ones that's wanted it more, and it's certainly showing that.
Just to exemplify that, you make allowances for Alexa Coyle. She's had a tough knock, but she was caught flat-footed there, and Galbraith was above her.
Yeah, I think obviously Galbraith's already made her decision, wasn't she, to peel round to the back post, and she's obviously got in the way of Coyle. But for me, you can't give Galbraith, a player like that time and space inside the box, especially for a set piece.
Terwijl Gio kennis Jason Galbraith waar aardig gegaan de chase mee en Shin ga Kirsty Vodestan je uiteindelijk Leishman heeft een haatje. Nada verga Morrison je eigenlijk Leishman heeft een haatje. Dus hier zijn Jade aardig met Shin met de skipper Kibbs. Coyle lei heen en Macaroni. Hoe is het nu? Murray, zo is het Coyle. Balkaar. Kavanagh Suri, they've all. Again, it's the wrong decision making, Emma. Colette Kavanagh standing in acres of space on the left, and doesn't get the ball from Coyle.
No, and it's good play, it's good link-up play by Coyle, you know, that's what she's good at, taking the ball at feet, but it just comes down to decision-making on the ball, doesn't it? It's also the awareness round about you.
Sapach Crua Yunish Spartans and Dream Hamalida. Ahul Show Haka is at the Gronk at Hib, really at the Gronk at Hibs. Shock Park Ainsley Va, near the Hogawa, Yenny Gipling and Nuddy. Who's going to hear of Argelashin near the Gronk Gakignoni. Smart, I guess, Galbraith Coyle, who is Coyle Kavanagh, so Karen Trau Medicines, Muringi, Aina State, Juval the Vombo, Hunter Tarsing. The pathkit. Corm goed naar vadergek, na game voor wat die vliegende band. Is laat Giuk, na herken. Glasgow City, Streedy Rangers en Gichtel en nu Celtic had toegtje me vallen. Wacht bij de zonne games in de vinnig naar Jooshin. Keer doet een Fisker. Not late, Nishimi and the pathkit. By Leishman and Chinit. So the ish, click it on the talk a lot. Maria is the breath, the drop at the hat, the dash of the Casson. Hunter. Kahili Gaduva Hanika. That change that Hibs made, Emma. Shannon Leishman goes to left back and Ellis Notley goes into more of a midfield role.
Yeah, and I think Ellis Notley, that's the position that we've mostly seen her play, hasn't it? It's been in the centre of the pitch, either be at centre back or in centre midfield, just sitting in front of the back four. But you know, I think there had to be some sort of change from Hibs, wasn't it, to try and get something from the game or try and get back into the game. But you know, you just have to have a look at their bench as well. They're running barely thin, aren't they? Yeah. They don't have that many options.
So the ish ball that they're checking the dash, go Hibs and me on the pathkit. He's Mason Junamak, Gavinica Dash, Gaka like Alana Marshall, the water did the Cascali, Achanishin and Nerb, the Shad Wuipaship, the Lamach. And you can see the resolve now in the Spartans players, 2 goals ahead, less than half an hour, just over 20 minutes to go, and they're really determined to hang on to this.
Yeah, they are, and you can obviously just see with Marshall's reaction there how disappointed she was with herself with that cross. But yeah, you see your Spartans on the attack again, you know, they're still pushing. Leading 2-0, it's risky, isn't it, in terms of if Hibs get a goal, it obviously brings it back to 2-1, and that's why Spartans have got to keep on playing on the front foot to try and obviously see this game out. It'll be a huge result for them if they do go away with 3 points today. Last
time they beat Hibs was April the 5th last year, Emma, and Smart and Galbraith on the score sheet that day, 2-0 as well.
Yeah, and Smart and Galbraith have been influential in this game so far this evening. Obviously, they'll Galbraith with the 2 goals, but you know, obviously supporting right behind her has been Kat Smart. You know, she's had a really good game also today. You know, she's been the driving force in the middle of that park.
She should go with Conlex. She is a Jala Vishin for the Cheval in a state. Simon McMahon, that's a Moshank, kind of some dress too. And a Foster, yes, Amy Gallagher got Healy Gaduva Hanika son. Boshanilla, which is Shin Hibs, and yet 2 line of Ash Gamalua, Matlian Tatas against it. Drast at Don't, Savoksak here, Fiachan the Junakini and High Spartans, Idris McMahon, Ball Nastina, Nasarcha drops it, and Sirish Smart Kedi, and Kavanagh, Gahudamach, Idrival. Security collect Kavanagh and a Kilnil in a path now. Gian a duel like Heen Kata. Gallagher, either go Shias, either Larry, does it. I guess, Mare, Shias, Yannick the Garo, triplet. Never a good sign when a player just voluntarily sits down like that, Emma. Usually it's a sign that something's wrong. Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, we were looking obviously to change it, you know, you'd be looking obviously to try and get back in the game if she is injured, you know. Can she get herself off? Can they make a substitution? You know, there are 20 minutes left and they're getting beat 2-0. So no, it doesn't look good for her, but look, she seems to be back on her feet, so not sure if maybe it was actually the head knock, you know, the clearance from the corner and maybe had obviously
put her back, because obviously she was at the front post there and she did obviously get her head onto it. It might just be that.
Well, that should have Cassan. I guess for the Chile get that shade. Gallagher that shade. Kavanagh idefal san Hibs idefal. Gierig toen was het Coyle. Harrison het in de macht. Het is een soos hingen gi. Al mag art. Idefal voor Rachel Harrison. 50 minutes die gold maar Shoik Patka Ainsley. Hij is grantje een kind geld en als een Spartans het koers is een kerf game in de vinje geht heesten ze. Nou was maar te die eerste grand ook zeggen het not let Nurgi fijn gaan daar op Paul Kata. Looney. Kavanagh, Ashko Gallagher, Rashid de Fatk. We gaan nog zijn. Maar het Ash Conley, zei het de Bosch en Jodschechet. Shot voor de Fame Hibs. Viechen die voeten kunnen het Ash kan het is een klichtje dat een eeuwig achterlijst. Joel Murray, Siobhan Hunter. Not le kuchig ma senior wo brepen nog zijn. Paul Ishalketa, Gregor. En voeten kunnen dat McMahon hoe de soer me gilliget. De Macherson, de Bosch en Jelle. Uedele won het hier al, Nassartje, het rapse. Schechet to the first. Coyle. Yes, Leland, misschien kan doen die even schuntje gelijk als Schechet to the first. Another half chance for Hibs. I think it's a good shout from Rachel Harrison here. She just tells Cleland, just leave it, it's going by, maybe? Or does she make that call herself and she gets lucky?
No, yeah, the shout is great communication, obviously, from Rachel Harrison. She's well aware. She knows the ball's going to run out, isn't it? But it's brave from Cleland as well, isn't it? Because when I had played and if a goalkeeper had come to take it and the ball's bouncing in the box, you were just told to deal with it because you don't know what's behind you. The goalkeeper could make a mistake or the ball could drop down. But no, it was brave from Cleland, but good communication from Harrison.
Listen to the goal, the Spartans would you. I guess Dias Mason, June by Macha triple, a cowl of wheel. Dash the Gallagher. Is Leishman in an all going to do so? Dias Cleland, Cinema. Hier, you game with the Viech you, Marafe Mora. Dash son start to this pool, Sapi, Hinnesteve and a line Viesha Kibs. Eerst verder Cheval, Chile Gadash. Marshall, Kalinski, a guy in the follow-up. Not late. Arsenal Gould got Hunter. Sulis Munich at the Hunter Jesus kan is een Paragorge guy. You just wonder as the game goes on, Emma, do they take a risk and push someone like Siobhan Hunter up front and try and just get a goal back that would give them hope to get something from the game?
Yeah, I think I would. I think the Hibs have changed it again. I think Dean Gibson's changed it. He's pushed Shannon Leishman up in the wider area, wide right, and Kavanagh at left back. But yeah, I think he is trying, isn't he? He's obviously trying. He's obviously changed of personnel. Substitutions coming on. He's obviously changing the formation as well. So you can see he is trying to get something from the game. But again, it's just down to decision making on the ball, isn't it? Just previous to this phase of play, it was Siobhan Hunter. You know, she's got time on the ball. She can see the pitch, and she's better off. You know, try and keep the ball. Try and keep possession of the ball.
Eddie, the ball are to the ish. McAlooney at the goal station. Who they look? It's a jail like this. Katie through guy in the follow-up. Hailey Adams of the Vingia Kibs. Hij de slie edash van wie de korstig uit. En is toch nog bij zo'n chance gaan aan de game. Maar gewoon cruwe de game zit. Coyle, Tune Tarsen got Hunter. Coil, the ist vierchen die fein kunnen Walsen nach dem Kaffertige leeg. Rein je roet Karsten bij het aankel. We gaan er weer tuurlijk de Harrison. Die is moesten goed de mag. Gesaveltje pullig. Die duwhal. En dat is Karsten hoerig te doen ja was je gedaan. Eddie het puchtig zo is. Nog even bouw. Ein Tarsen Hunter houden. Dat zo is de douche nog gaat de gauw. Got breath, soon they fall off, so Costnick Sud really. That's really good experience play from Galbraith again. She's turning away, she knows she's going to get the foul, and that's going to take the impetus away from Hibs again.
Yeah, it's great hold-up play, isn't it? You know, I thought she's had a fantastic game so far, but you know, Spartans are obviously, you can see how long they are taking to take any set pieces to get the ball back in play. You know, it's good game management from them.
Spartans, dol, you know, aardig. I guess. Mason at him yet. I guess Tegan Reynolds the Spartans. She's had a good game as well, Louise Mason, hasn't she, Emma?
Yeah, I've been impressed with her, especially being in the middle of that park, and we spoke about her at the opening of the game, didn't we? Like how composed she's been on the ball. She's technically very good, and she obviously set up the goal for Galbraith's first goal of the game. It was a fantastic rate of pass through, but yeah, she's played well today.
Ik heb dat ook heel in de haatje. Reynolds. Harrison. En is Eddie is de channel mee cool. Like a cheval will try and got Gabby English. Ishman still coming Gregor. Hier toe ik goed de vallen wordt bekend. Yes, look at that top goal out. I guess that Kars Vuye mag drops it. I guess McGregor drops it fine. Kars Vuye. Wasn't a huge amount in that, but she gets a yellow card.
Yeah, I think it's just more frustration from Shannon McGregor, isn't it? You know, she's obviously coming towards the end of the game, or our team are obviously getting beat, and it's just obviously that decision on when obviously she makes a challenge, when she releases the ball.
Look at the cheval going to the Euston Murray, Swurga Chian for. Look at that Chian Murray behind the fall of a clear shape, the bosh in your out. McMahon, I guess. Njon Marshall like a gaaltje maar erin ter verjedig. Streek de gelijk en Spartans favor de val. Gee, dat je moet English had ik alles tijd. Jag shinne tijd. Gee, dat van een oceaan. Wel, McMahon ik raak gejag. Ik is famous in Zuler. Ah, en je laat door zeggen dat je natuurlijk een kroa de tuiler zeggen dat gaan je. Wel, geen jaar je hagen de zin van Zuler die is van kan je het gebouw geboord Gee, dat je van een oceaan. Tiksenke je heel Hugo mag Junker zie de Jiklee Kibs ik ga onneerlijk Gallagher I guess zo ik wil McCafferty dat schöne Junsi Harrison going back to that corner kick Emma I think there might have been a push on the goalkeeper here but it looked like it pretty much went in direct from the corner.
Yeah, I think Fru's just obviously got in the way, hasn't she? She's been a nuisance and standing in front of English, but
is that a foul though?
I don't think that's a foul. I just think English is in the wrong position. Yeah. You know, she's obviously not goal.
She needs to dominate through and get out of the way.
Absolutely, she needs to obviously get one of her teammates in to help. But no, I don't think that's a foul. Not for me. I think you put any player on top of a goalkeeper, isn't it? You're there to be a nuisance. You're there to be in the way, and that's exactly what Fru's done.
Mona Douglas. Je zit Karsvoeje, Genne. Daar een Karsvoeje, yeah. Yep, red card, 2 yellows. Yep, and again, those when you're on a yellow, you can't go in and make that kind of challenge that Douglas has made.
Absolutely not. You've got to be clever about it. You know, she's now putting her team under pressure now for the final 10 minutes, and you know, you just have to stay up. There's no need for her to go to ground there. You know, you just have to get your body in the way, match the run. But yeah, Spartans are obviously now down to 10 players and under pressure now for the next final 10 minutes.
Wel, goed ik sinne game aardig uit. Wil Corman haast de Hibs. 10 minuten na dakel. Gallagher took up ball waard. Agus Coyle fine keen. Je kan je la tuchtum continue aan de lane oanje. Agus de Spartans de fine Aslish shin. Agus ja, just to be a grand finish just on Katie through. Yeah, that will be the frustration from Spartans if they go on from here and lose 2 late goals. They will look back at that silly challenge by Douglas.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they throw this game away now, the final 10 minutes, it'll be hugely disappointing, obviously for the players and for the team and for Debbie. But you know, it's a crazy decision, isn't it, for Rona Douglas there to go to ground? There's absolutely no need for it. She just has to get her body in the way and match the run.
Gaan dan maatje gaan vaart verder naar groot Koenart se pian. Je schissen we kunnen koelach. Jenisch, agus féin Spartans a grand gaan en weet de shots jedig. Lees Jenner ach gedaka. Is toch ook lachen maken wil het daar hol als je nachke. Fies get de gallige tul. Kan mag die games win ik. Snur på Lana Marshall dol Shechat. Coloni, le pick and room re-unsi Elena Gian show. Ball stick of Gallagher, agus the dish. Chile Gadash, Kuchachug, Elena Gian. Lynch Gala. Yes, Ryan van Lishasu Kutramach Gadash go Harrison. Apart Gilfiska de Viechkische. Katie Fru. Kind of dash de finish in de gute geweer dat Chechat. Nog ik should the fast cast Rona Douglas yet. Ryan Adash in the casting. With the 10, have they changed shape? Emma, I guess it puts more of an onus now on Galbraith just to do all the running up front on their own.
Yeah, they've obviously just went to, obviously they've still got their four at the back and they've just went a flat four right across the middle, but you know, Galbraith will continue to work tirelessly for her team in the final few minutes of this game, and she just has to keep the ball, retain possession of the ball. As soon as you give the ball away, then obviously it gives opportunity for Hibs to create anything, but they've got to be clever with the ball as well.
Is toch het je smarter zijn, kan je de bal gemaakt kunnen wie goudje dash de Hibs. Dus je kan wie kutter maar geen zo verder kan je een is Galbraith, is Marshall en wie kan maar smaken de game. De Spartans, die Jenner Koenig. Is die is vroeg, fijn route kunnen de shin. Smart de dash. Kutje goed alleen het Gian echt. Goed litten je toekje met dash en is just on Spartans. Notley. Let's go Hunter. Kind of son Coyle, ach die is Harrison in de action. Hij is de Chinamach, skippelgug. Harrison tjech kaske goede tjek zoring gimes. Die game met Ashkotol. Sorry. Smart kahili. Tuurlijk is de Galbraith lei heen en uit. English, Jackie, Kebs come out first enough. You can go and give a shin lay. You think Spartans see the dress to the line. Notley. Eddie. There's Marshall. Ma, Dash is Sue Mageda Gachin for Eddie. Starting to shake of the Spartans. Shin to Chuchum for Lena Gianachka. Just picking a shea minute into Gunya was Shakadaka. La kind Kolach gewil Hibs het al again. Tul de vid. Is toch het toch geschreven dat ik een eind als de game. Unjach gehasketa. McGregor. Bieg. Coyle aan de race. McCafferty is die is. Zich parag mee aan dat je het Gian fijn. Shinnet Hoshacher. Just exemplifies the way they played Emma. She just wanted to win that race and that ball more.
Yeah, she's matched it on well, hasn't she? I think McCarthy's at times throughout the game, obviously set from her challenge, but she's defended extremely well.
Cos sin láiste chu le Kavanagh as a bhógsta. Is just make a little gang cash reassumption get the line she shot Hanneke Ball Noas for through the live mach. Marshall, Ashko, Smart. Gregor, become room. Who let the dish be part of room? My kids, I can let Hickey shock you with Prague on it. Richmond, Fiakan, the Shinarach. I know at Hoshach at Cleland, I guess the motion. Well, Gachud the Machle Reynolds can who seem to be some to the Boshine. This Cade minutes in an ish Idakel to Goon Avashach Ma, Rutican at Hachar to Son Hibbs, Femia Tachar to Drast, Eddie Skach, a few, the Cheval Vocalaga, Ishal, yes, Shin, Fad McMahon, she, Bosh and Yellow out. Archer drops the val. Takes Jacka Kavanagh. Murray Kahiliga State. Yeesh. Without the Lynch and Gallushin. I guess Eddie Evan the Chanur Pegiddig. Shachat Edaraka Jagisamach. Can drugs be in Harrison. And despite having the advantage of the extra player, they've not really used it to their advantage. Hibs.
No, they haven't. You know, that's been 7 minutes or so they've been playing with the extra player, but no, you're right, they haven't used it to their advantage. I just feel, I know I've said it a few times already today, but it's just decision making, isn't it, on the ball? It's almost like they've ran out of ideas when they're on possession of the ball, what to do next.
Coach Jackerson, Gibson, the NOS Stewie Shoch, we had Tolly Tisha, the Stewie, Chincho Fashkid, Pring in a Horchvo, well, Pring, you for Glasgow City, Jackerson. Can Yonan Shin is maar at het ploegje Jew. Neem het de Spartans de volk het at de Ligas en Leeuwen ploeg. Breed. Try je. Gewoon nog een korre machine te McMahon. Hunter Asarat. Kyle aan de race die is. Lima Cafferty. Ergens die is. Cafferty. Fijn. Kunnen we het hasje gaan. Eddie, kind of son, click it and Chin Kahusi. McGregor, Gianushinach, we follow the Fiach and the Hillikel Nasacha estate. I guess Calbraith the Dash. Do the Shinafala Maravu Kiri, and Lisa Ryan, the cool look at you. I guess the Ish Jamach, Christian Kinach, Machai Makaloni, Erpe Darakach, Jenner, Ifat and Ish Dash Havor Savox, Spartans. Eddie, Fiachan de Nimpi, Kumalatal, my Macaroni Ike, Megas Kamina Kavanagh, the Val Galamach. And that time of the game, I suppose, Emma, when we have to think about your player of the game, and I think we know who you're going to choose today.
Yeah, there is only one player for me that's going to obviously take that today, and it is Galbraith. You know, she's obviously just with her 2 goals as well, but not just that, she's been really influential. Her all-round game today has been really, really good, and we were speaking off air, and it was a player that I'd picked out for Spartans, that she was going to be a key player for them, and she's proven that today.
And actually done well also, given that she picked up a yellow card earlier in the game to discipline herself, because at one stage she looked like she might have picked up 2 yellow cards. Yeah,
it was the opening 15-20 minutes or so, wasn't it, when she'd obviously made those 3 consecutive challenges, and yeah, she was lucky not to get booked on the second challenge. Finally she got her booking on the third, but Yeah, she was, but I think that's just her experience, isn't it? She was obviously just reined it in a little bit, and she's well aware of the importance of this game, the importance of picking up the 3 points, and then she's managed it extremely well.
Fyr UGM med vi hjul Becky Galbraith. Da hul. Agus gynnydd the shot 3 pingen. The Spartans get the Colette Kavanagh fiach in the route gynnydd. Mae Ewan Shin y bawl garasig tarsing sa pwrin to Shannon McGregor. That dying yet could have shachat a line, but great play from Colette Kavanagh, and Shannon McGregor just needed to get any part of her body, her head on that, just to get over the line, and she couldn't.
No, she couldn't quite get there. I think maybe there was too much pace in the cross, but Colette Kavanagh's done extremely well there. But you can see Shannon McGregor, she's thrown everything at it, isn't it? It's just obviously just too much pace on the cross, but excellent cross for me, you know, in between the goalkeeper and the back line, dangerous.
Gerafig gyfil 3 minutes in. The gwyn farach ac yn eich jydig i iem. Notley, Gahiliw. Harrison, Farolina. Yn chalwnsig yn y minute yn y sy'n y gol siachat mar ha. Gwylyd yn yddash sy'n Spartans yn ystod y gian y da hwyl a fasyn fo Galbraith. Bawlwch yn ystod, Macaloni. Fel eisiau dog ein twyl yn o'i jawn skip a'ch i chanel. Bwyd yn cydgilig al sarad. Kavanagh yn oes yn leod. Agus y dresser but yn ystod. They just don't want to concede a goal, and it says a lot about the spirit in that Spartan side. Everyone's back trying to defend this 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and obviously when she's getting her shot off, and there's 3 Spartans players closing it down and blocking it. But yeah, we spoke about it, haven't we? It's Spartans, for me, have displayed more fight, more determination throughout the full game. And you can see that they're right up until, obviously, the final few minutes of this game, especially, obviously, playing the last 10 or so with 10 players.
When you look at the games they've got coming as well, Emma, Hearts at home, Rangers away and Aberdeen away, they'll be looking to build on this and try and get to mid-table safety.
Absolutely, you know, we spoke about it as well at the beginning of the show and the beginning of the game that, you know, I'm sure Debbie certainly won't want her team in a relegation battle. You know, she'll be trying to pick up as many points as possible just to drift himself away from that.
Nein, na si ystod cael siop I David McCulloch gymatol just och gyffydig I falaf y gemig yn as Joey siop. At y fflwychach o ma. Kavanagh has the fiach yn y rwtig yn ian oes yn Hibs ach Galbraith. Agus hat the bawl y gyd to show the ish. Smart mach go Becky Galbraith has the dol. Tegan Reynolds as the folks the Condy Marshall. Find at the bawl gyda'n agus Leah Eddie ysyn. Dyna cynach gyfain bawl y mach go Kavanagh chwmys ystod iddo dwyf hawl. Le Vinach, yn y 3 minutes yn tygwn I farach gyda cael Ellis Notley. Dol ysteg yn y League Spartans, Coyle, McCunnip, McGregor fiach yn ei ffain sŵs a chwyd ele. Diolch yn cogan ag pas magedig. Diolch cola ski y nyrp y fasyn fy Notley. Agus sy'n stoch y gorau magedig y fys achgas yn tyl ayn as y gemse. Ac bydd Katie Frew sio ga agus 3 minutes yn y farach gytrin sy'n ffala Nijak bial y reitio a sŵl horti nhw agus sy'n eisiachat ha Spartans y derby y fynynt I ga gynioni ffiws gyda chriach ni chat le jener agus hiwn a cialach ag dy Becky Galbraith edrych dwy faw agus yn y coachich yn gwyd Melanech gyda chael Drew Lawson, Scott Noble, Droch Lawson, Dean Gibson gyda agus 3 pingen loch ver Erson Spartans agus Gabby English wel stocher a cod 3 tuil of iawn wij forste nach de hees tuil of asyn ach eis de gidach van an osyn go Alana Marshall sy dar a le agus sio ag Pathga Ainsley Jew Yem agus Spartans iddo gronchi an a Spartans aga Hibs yn Ioni agus coint of Ash in a turl. Emma, looking back at the goals, it came at a good time and the pressure eventually paid off and Becky Galbraith could have squared this, but a confident striker, she was always going to take that herself.
Absolutely, she did think about it, didn't she? She had a glance up and she seen Kat Smart making a run into the box, but you know, the form that she's on, and obviously she's their go-to player to get on the score sheet, and she's proven that today. There was only one thought in her mind.
And again from that corner, poor defensively from Hibs. Alexa Coyle didn't match her jump in the air, and just the way she peeled away and made room for herself and made sure that that was going in and making the game safe.
Yeah, and it's clever play from Galbraith, you know. She knew exactly what she wanted to do there, what area of the pitch she wanted to pick up, and it's poor defending from Coyle, isn't it? I think initially she started off at wrong side, but that's down to good movement from Galbraith. You know, just peeling off that back post, and as I've mentioned, if you've got someone on the back post for Hibs defending that, could they clear that?
As the cricket and McGilligan, you know, Slee, Farna Pathke, I guess, Chlunishin, Inish, Vo, Becky Galbraith, Connie Callum, here's the Farna Pathke.
Becky, firstly, many congratulations on today's victory. Tell us what this means to Spartans. We're seeing some great celebrations here.
You know, it means everything. The girls gave absolutely everything today. I'm so proud of the team. I'm so proud of the coaching staff, and you know, obviously Debbie couldn't be here today, but we felt our presence. She prepared us well for this game. The coaching staff prepared us well for this game, and we've got a target, and we're set to reach that target.
You must be proud of your own performance as well. 2 very good goals.
Yeah, I don't score goals without the team. You know, it comes from good balls at the box, comes from good final balls. So all the goals that we scored today are all about the team.
What about the character as well, going down to 10? You were fighting for every ball literally to the last minute there.
Yeah, it's, again, you know, you just got to give everything for the objective of the day, and the objective of the day was to get the 3 points.
Great stuff, many congratulations. You're today's player of the game.
Thank you very much. Cheers, thank you.
Look at that again, Becky Galbraith. All about the team, she says, Emma, but every team needs a striker who puts the ball in the net, and she does that with regularity for Spartans.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? And obviously you can see how delighted the team is, isn't it? And I said at the top of the show, it's not just about 3 points, it's about playing for pride as well, and having the bragging rights over your local rivals.
And for a while they've been flirting at the wrong end of the table, but this, you imagine, will give them quite a lot of confidence now that they can climb away to relative safety.
Yeah, I think obviously as soon as the girls leave here this evening, I think they've just got to put this game behind them and then focus on the next one. And it's all about the reaction to the next game, isn't it? Can you take those performance levels into the next game?
Agus coin the jail hacha that's a league due Glasgow City the stranu at open the mar Hearts is Hamilton Conan 3 Gugnoni Valence and Celtic a full of a new operain Shia Cahoon is Sun Rangers and the Partick Thistle get the high Partick at Hoshach as again Vashins Marachunishin show Spartans Bunnik Iga Gugnoni in the Hibs Station a Kielach again a Chlar. Well, Glasgow City get the gas gaan a wonderlijk get the hat daar jem varach Rangers the gliche. I guess Hibs Secherevacha Spartans Sechokevacha all getting a bit tight there in the middle, but at the top very interesting now City back top again, but Rangers do have those 2 games in hand.
Yeah, it's very tight, isn't it? It's tight at the bottom, but extremely tight at the top, and for me Glasgow City have just got to keep on winning all their games. Obviously they've just got to keep driving forward, whereas obviously Rangers, they've still got 2 games in hand, and if they pick up those 6 points they then leapfrog Glasgow City back to top spot.
Warren Gemma, thanks as ever for your analysis today. I guess Jalan McGivig just going to make the fad. Look at their Spartans has the doich. The Sula third gonna have Father Gunya show at BBC Illapit. I guess Gemma in Glasgow City and now Celtic and Hech in the Keduiden. Notion Pia League and Fair operating and now Hibs Hisha Shin Chisarnia now you've Lachiak in a arch game Idash Fatak Shia Uiden. I guess the Northern Chile Gadash got Derby Morgan Agent. I'll caution the band. I guess Hibs, well, Femi Hassan and Cassan and Hokalanish, I guess games in a kind. Rutikina still guys in no Hearts, I guess Hish of Shin show at BBC SWPL. Chitoni, Nichet the Lag in a Varch, a Kedu and Fisker. Ach, the show. Hannah Pringen, a Fudach, Spartans, 4 game guys, and I guess Droch La. Is dan Hibs had Cow Ga Gugnoni a shot like Padke Ainsley.
Well, Shin Chavore Vuinge shot at BBC Alpa. Spartans at Dogaki listen to Pungen agus haite Mochulu draste at the Doi Galan. Brishik Dool to Hibernian guitar. Ach Fiach Gavishev Adashana Hacking son Barach for Priabli Ban Halapa. Ach Hunishin Maha Vuinge look a show. Martian Live.